very much over there. You got everyone's attention for me. This is what happens when you text during the show. You're what? You're recording? Oh, well, that's okay. Oh, crap, there's proof. Okay. All right, now, you've seen him as the host of Otaku Tonight. Here for your intermission. Okay, forget it. Professor Fur, get up here.
The louder you applaud, the more disappointed you're going to eventually be. Thank you, Wausaubi for having me here this weekend to do your cosplay intermission. I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. So just to solve that, I'm using the age-old tactic of imagining Daniel Moore in his underwear. I don't know if it's my imagination or if it's real, but Powerpuff Girls, really? I mean, I dig it, but Powerpuff Girls? Okay. Oh man, no, it's good to be here at WausaubiCon. Let me tell you, this is my first foray into stand-up, so this is kind of a rough run. Of course, some of you may have seen my show, Otaku Tonight. Wow. But it's something completely different. For instance, I can't blame any of my writers if the show goes over poorly. So that's all on me. But no, they told me that there were some things I couldn't do. I can mention Otaku Tonight. I can't mention any of my non-anime material because it can get a little blue and there's not much funny about 18th century French bread making techniques. So there's that. But I also can't advertise the other thing I do. And if I remember correctly, they told me that I couldn't mention that No Brand Con is April 12th through the 14th. Plaza Hotel in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and you can free rent for $20 at the Ambassador Alley table. I think that was right? I can't mention that? Okay. No, I'm glad to be here at the cons because cons are just a fantastic place. I mean, I've always said that they are a place where you can kind of put yourself out of society, put yourself in your own little world. And like for instance, I mean the vendor room itself is its own little economy. I mean the whole place is its own little economy. I've never seen a place that runs solely on money, free hugs, and cat boys kissing. Never seen that before. Other parts about it, I mean like the tabletop room. Has anybody ever been to the tabletop room? Okay, we got a few. And there's not a more tense place in the entire con. Because let me tell you, you have not tasted victory or smelled defeat unless you've lost your level 8 wizard to a monkey bee. Like that. Yeah, monkey bee. Okay, we got some D&D players in here. Okay, a monkey bee is an actual monster in Dungeons and Dragons. And it is what it sounds like. A monkey and a bee. Oh hey, that's right, I've got water in here. Oh, this is gonna be good. I wish I'd opened it beforehand.
Drink that water.
The other thing I love about cons is the people that are here. There's a lot of really great people here this weekend. Of course, the Slants are here. Did anybody go see the Slants? Okay.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Slants are an Asian American rock band. They all have roots in Asia, which I don't really know if I believe that or not because I asked them for the heat of the moment and they wouldn't do it. Dear Twitter, Asia joke didn't go over well. Not enough people familiar with the 80s. There's also Person vs. Cosplays here. They're judging right now, but I mean, I don't know if anybody saw how absolutely incredible they look. Almost over ponies, and of course, Beth Mouse, a good friend of mine, is here. She's one of the members of it. Dressed up as a DJ, but the thing is, he's terrible at fishing. Of course, he's a DJ. All DJs are terrible at fishing. And you know why they're terrible at fishing? Why? Because they never stop talking and they always drink all the beer. You thought I was going to say always drops the bass, didn't you? That'll teach you to anticipate my punchlines. I guess we don't know each other as well as we thought, do we? But no, we're here at the cosplay contest, of course, and I love the cosplay contest. One of my favorite things to do at a con I always say my 4 favorite things to do in an anime con are the AMV competitions, video game tournaments, drunkenly pounding on cosplay judges' doors at 3 in the morning demanding that they tell me I'm pretty, and going to the cosplay contest. And let's hear it for these cosplayers, huh? Weren't they amazing? Like that. They were phenomenal, and I look at them and it's like I'm not nearly that talented to do some of those cosplays. I mean, I cosplay occasionally, mostly characters nobody's heard of, which makes me feel like a hipster now that I've said that.
Don't worry, you.
You know my pain. But I thought, you know, maybe I want to try and do something popular for Wausaubi-Con. Maybe I want to try some good cosplay, like popular cosplays. So I thought I could do Bleach. Bleach is pretty popular. But the thing is, the only costume I could come up with is something that looked really good when I was standing still, but like complete garbage the minute I started moving. And then I thought, well, I could do Naruto. Naruto is popular. People like Naruto. But they're ninjas that are dressed in orange. And I wanted to actually be kind of a ninja. I'm like, well, how could I be invisible? And I got an idea, but I don't know how I could go as Toonami. Some of you are booing that, but let's be honest here, if you've really been keeping up with Dead Man Wonderland after you watched it on Hulu. Let's be honest here. It's like saying, hey, you want to go to the McDonald's or something down the street? The whole menu's in English. No, man, I know enough Japanese to be able to read the one that's just right over here. It's cool. No, but that's all part of it. Like, the fandoms are also what makes the con scene great. I mean, there's a fandom for everything. And there's a great comedian, his name is Uncle Yo. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him. Okay, we got this here, inspiration of mine. But Uncle Yo talks about this thing called the woo factor. For those who don't know what the woo factor is, it's that you can yell out an anime, and someone will yell woo, and you'll be able to find who you belong to. Like, so someone could say, like, Bleach, for instance. Okay, so, like, people belong over there. And it's a great way to meet other people, but I don't really know. That can backfire horribly. Like, okay, I went to a con recently, and I wandered into this room, not really sure what was up, and I noticed people are dressed in cosplay, and someone yelled, Italia! Right, and that was the reaction of most of the room. Like, everyone was like, woo, Italia! And I'm like,
Thank you.
Whatever, okay? Whatever. And I didn't think anybody noticed, but out of the corner of my eye, I see these 2 people, they're just kind of like, did he woo? No, he didn't woo. They said Italia, he didn't woo. Why didn't you woo? Well, I mean, I don't really watch the show, and I'm sure it's good if I were to sit down and actually watch it, but I don't really want to spend the time. And suddenly I'm digging myself into a hole because all of a sudden everybody turns around, and I've realized this horrifying realization that I've stumbled into Italia's photo shoot. And I immediately look to the door, and Prussia and France are there with this weird bondage equipment. And the Soviet Union's got this bloody pipe ready to go. US, UK are too busy doing things to each other that I can't even mention. And yeah, I know what you're thinking, but Professor Fur, they're like canonically brothers. Yeah, I know, and isn't that kind of screwed up? I've seen that fanfic. Something wrong with you guys. Anyways, long story short, I can't look at a cheeseburger without cringing. Flopping's worse. It's not the only scary fandom, though. There's a lot of scary fandoms out there. People can get really passionate about stuff. Well, you mentioned Naruto earlier, but I mean, like, one of the bigger fandoms out right now is My Little Pony. Like, the bronies are huge out there. Then I'm sorry, this Brody power!
20% cooler.
20% cooler. But I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I have a lot of really good friends who are bronies. And we got talking, and it got brought up, and I mentioned, well, you know, I was watching My Little Pony the other day, and he interrupts me and says, Spur, who's your favorite Cutie Mark Crusader? I don't really watch the show that much. I mean, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, so I'll watch it with her occasionally, but I don't really know enough to, you know, name the Cutie Mark Crusaders. And this is exactly what he says to me. He looks at me, he's like, you watch the show with your daughter? That's a little weird. No, what's a little weird is that a 30 32-year-old man just asked me with a straight face who my favorite Cutie Mark Crusader was. But I'm not going to bring that up because that makes me sound like a jerk. Of course, social media has really helped out a lot. Social media has really helped out a lot for the fandoms to unite. In good ways and bad ways. For about 3 months there, I couldn't go on Tumblr because from about 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. it would be nothing but Korra. And the minute I log on, it crashed. I had to unfollow people. It wasn't fun. It was really just maybe post something other than gifts. I don't know. I get it. Amon is hilarious. Tumblr's also helped the Avengers fandom, which that was big before the Avengers came out, but now that the Avengers is out, everybody and their mom is on that boat, and that's cool. But everything on Tumblr with the Avengers has to do with shipping. I get it, all these characters could go together, and I'm not a prude, I'll admit. Some of these shipping just makes sense. I'll be honest, wouldn't Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth make the most beautiful baby in the world if that were possible? They'd be like looking at Simba and Jesus. Here's your savior, mankind. Child of Hemsworth and Hiddleston. He cried on me and cured cancer. Chuck Norris can do that!
Chuck Norris can be British!
Not that I agree with this joke, but I'm hearing to do it anyway because one of my friends urged me to do it, so here goes. Sorry, homestuckers. I guess, some of it's, okay, we got a Homestuck cosplayer here, and I'm very sorry. And, all that makeup must have taken a lot of work. But to get a good Homestuck cosplay, really, black wig and horns. And I love all my friends that do Homestuck cosplays. They're great. But I have a feeling that if everybody that sold or donated their black hair to a wig maker could see what was being done with that hair now, they'd be simultaneously confused and depressed out of their minds. But no. Anyway, all these fandoms, they all can get kind of crazy, but I have an idea to kind of fix it. People always argue, hey, no, my fandom's the best. No, my fandom's the best. Here's an idea. My proposal, fandom battle royale. Wait, there's more. Swag! No. I'm going to make you wait for this while I take a drink of water. Just Way to go. Welcome. Delicious. Fandom battle royale, but here's the thing. The same rules, put the collar on them, throw them off an island in the ocean, whatever. But each fandom only gets the weapons and powers that are associated with their show or thing of choice. Suddenly it makes it a lot more interesting for you Ava and Gundam fans out there, doesn't it? Throw everyone an island and say, hey, have fun, there's Forbidden Zone. Suddenly you got the Ava Gundam fans, they get the next. Soul Eater people, they can turn into their weapons. Fruits Basket people, you're kind of screwed. Maybe let those rice balls harden and then chuck them in a guitar. It's like an all-on battle. The Uda fans are turning into cars and running over the One Piece fans. That's in the Forbidden Zone. I make the rules here. Princess Jellyfish and Azumanga Daioh, again, they're not doing much. They're just kind of slapping each other around. Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z guys, they're out right away. They're waiting 7 weeks to power up. And honestly, all this would happen, all these battles would go on. It'd be amazing. It would be glorious. It would be the highest selling anime ever made. And honestly, I think it would come down to 2 fandoms. Madoka, I'll tell you. I will tell you which fandom. Madoka Magica and Excel Saga. Madoka Magica, because nobody expects a little girl to have power of God. At all.
Agreed.
Oh, hey, what's your name? Oh, God, my face is melting.
The cuter, the more deadly.
Never missed. He just had his head